This come all spontaneous views. I'm gonna touch on this subject real quick about Brother Polight. I feel like I can definitely talk about Brother Polight since prior to his little situation he just got into a couple years ago. You know, Brother Polight was looked at as a figure in the conscious community. If you look at when you talk about the conscious community, you have certain YouTubers that be on and they deliver information with, whether it's somebody from the Islamic faith, the Hebrew Israelite faith, or just the Egyptian faith, whatever faith that or religion that you deal with. You know, you have these figures that we have in the black community that try to give you information, right? So just to, you know, touch on the subject of Brother Polight, you know, I've listened to multiple debates with Polight when he debated Hebrew Israelites and he debated, you know, Islamic faith. He debated a few people, and Brother Polight was brilliant when it came to information and disseminating information to the public and the black community. So I looked at Brother Polight as a figure, you know. Now, of course, if you fast forward a little bit further up, he's had accusations of scamming people. But one thing about me is that I never allow a situation from someone to take away from their teachings. You know what I'm saying? Because people, there's a good side and a bad side to you. There's always a duality when it comes to us as human beings. Whether it's good or bad, you just got to accept it as human beings. But I try not to put what they bring on an intellectual level with their personal life. Now, as far as him scamming, I don't know, but I've heard, if anyone is familiar with Young Pharaoh, he was another brother that was introduced in the conscious community on a network, Sinetta Studios. You know, he said he got into a situation with Brother Polight. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I'm in traffic. That's really why I'm not really looking at the camera, but I'm just, you know, processing this Brother Polight. So anyway, Young Pharaoh actually came out and said that he actually sued Brother Polight for a scam that he was promising him. I don't know if it was something to do with like credit or trying to get some type of, I don't even want to misquote it because I don't even want to, you know, because I don't forgot, you know. But anyway, Brother Polight was looked at as a person that scams, and it was evident, like it was out there. But like I said, with me, I always look at the other side of a brother, like a person like Brother Polight. Like I said, he was brilliant when it came to information. He's done lectures with Dr. Sebi, you know, and to be honest with you, from that lecture, that's what caused me to change my diet. You know, when I first listened to that lecture, and after I was finished listening to that lecture, I stopped drinking milk immediately. Like certain potato chips, I stopped eating. You know, it was just a lot of stuff, information that they was giving out, that they was like, yo, this stuff is in our food. And I believe we've always said that there's stuff in our food. But anyway, let's fast forward up until now. You know, after, you know, Brother Polight comes out of the conscious community, you know, he becomes a money-driven person, which is understandable. Of course, you want to take your craft and make money out of it. But it got to the point to where he, you know, was accused of scamming. Like this still was the narrative on him and how he was able to accumulate the money that he's received. Now, I haven't looked at his net worth or anything like that. But he's obviously he's encountered with some money, just based off the fact of him having wanting to pay off this person. Now let me get to this story about this alleged child abuse situation that happened back in, I think, February of 2021. You know, this happened in Miami. You know, Brother Polight got mixed up with unfortunately, and it's crazy to say that he was with a 14-year-old and apparently just tried to take advantage of her, and it just was, I mean, I'm hearing this and I'm gonna be honest with you, and my condolences go out to the family, but I thought that it was a lie. I didn't think that this actually happened. I'm like, no, this can't be Brother Polite, not the person that's I done seen on, like I said, I've been looking at Brother Polite for at least 10 years now. And for this to happen, I'm like, I'm starting to look at him funny. But he got Hollywood. You started seeing him with videos and having little Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Yeah, that's cool, but like, it's like now you want to be popular now. And that's usually what happens when people want to become popular. The money gets to them, and they do, and that dark side of that person really comes out. And that's exactly what happened with Brother Polite. The dark side of him came out in the flesh in the worst way. And it's funny because underneath certain situations that's been going on, that he's had people that he has encounters with, almost wish this on him. I'm just gonna keep it real. Like, people was happy. I don't want to say people are happy, but all I know is what's going on with Brother Polite right now. A lot of people are smiling, but I don't care about that. I'm just giving you my take on it. You know, the fact that he was even in a situation where basically he was in a hotel room and he tried to take advantage of a 14-year-old child. Prior to this, told the mother that they were just going to go downstairs and just take pictures, and you know, they was on vacation, so they was just chilling. So I don't know if Polite was involved with the mother, or he was getting through the mother to try to get to the child. Like, the whole the fact that he pleaded guilty to this is even more crazy. So he's on vacation, said he wants to take pictures with the child. They wound up in a room, and I guess he tried to take advantage of her, and next thing you know, they done found DNA on him, was pleading for them not to go to the hospital, talking about this was going to affect my career. So he already knew he messed up off the muscle. But I'm talking after that altercation, or that situation, I should say, you was on Instagram, because again, I'm gonna keep it real. I was Facebook friends with Brother Polite, but I'm gonna be deleting his channel, you know, once I can find it. Anyway, I seen him talking about it and flossing and telling people how much it was a lie and all this and that. And the whole time you was fronting. Like, that's crazy. Like, you, even after that, you went on social media and was trying to spin the narrative on it, because you knew that the girl and the mother really wasn't going to have a voice at that time, and plus you were more popular, so people were going to be contacting you, or you would get the more the notoriety towards the situation, because it looked crazy. You took advantage of a 14-year-old. They wound up finding DNA on you. You pleaded with them not to go to the hospital the night that it happened. Talk about it was going to affect your career. I heard all this. They got the court proceedings online. They got everything. Like, he pleaded because he could have served a potential 61 years. So he pleaded for 10 years probation. He has to go through all kind of courses. Like, wow, 7 years off the muscle, and you got to do that, because now I don't see them letting you go early, especially with an offense like this, and then you got 10 years probation after the sentence. Like, dude, like, you just, like, your lowest self came out. That's the problem of a person that, and that's why people say money is the root of all evil. People are not saying money is evil. People are saying that the root of it, what it does to a person's root, their soul. Money changes people. The worst come out of you when you have money. And it's very unfortunate. And the reason why it's like that is because a lot of people are not used to having money. Because if that was the case, you'll hear about more people doing crazy stuff. You still hear about people doing crazy stuff that got money. But when you're talking about a figure like a Brother Polite, the effects that he had on the black community at that time when he was lecturing. Like I said, he was giving out great information. Like Brother Polight was looked at as a researcher. Like he was really a great, he was just a great researcher and a person that gave out information. That's it. And now it's like all that's tarnished. Because he used to say he published so many books. I forgot. I think he used to say like almost 70 to 80 books. I could be wrong on that. But they said he said he published all these books when people were saying, oh, they were really pamphlets. They were the books was only no more than about 70, 80 pages in it or something like that. They were like pamphlets. But he was saying that he published books. But they were books, we're talking 250 pages, or at least 200 pages. He's well below, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Like either way, it was just a way of him scamming or sounding a way that he was really doing something when he really was kind of like backdooring it a little bit. That's like a red flag right there. And like I said, the true character will eventually come out, and the fact that he pled guilty to it is damaging. Is very damaging. It's like the kids that have somebody to look up to in a black community, in a conscious community, and then you'll have something like this happen. And again, that's why I always try to hold on to at least the accomplishments as far as the teachings that he gave. Even if you don't believe it or believe it, at the end of the day, it's still something that you can look back at and question, or whatever the case you can do. But he did give great debates and great lectures, and he was very knowledgeable, and it was definitely believable. Like Polight was not a person. That's why he became so. This man was on the Breakfast Club. This man was on Vlad. Like he was on these platforms. He wasn't on these platforms prior to him getting the real money. The reason what got him on them platforms is because of his knowledge and what he was bringing to the black community. And then when you look at that happening to somebody that's black, that's like, again, like I said before, he was considered a prominent figure in the conscious community. We're talking about an area of people that disseminate information, and they have debates. They still do it to this day. You have Hebrew Israelites going against Christians, and that's just how it is. That's what people do now, because we're in this awakening age right now, this information age that we're in. So you got a lot more of it coming out. You could tell it was coming out about 10 years ago. That was the turn of the little, not the century, but the turn of the decade, I should say. Around 2009, 2010, that's when stuff started changing. And you could tell information started changing. That's why they're trying to control the information now. That's why when you Google certain stuff, you're not going to get the information that you got 5 or 6 years ago. They're putting what they want out, and then you Google something that's weird and crazy, and then you start taking on to it. And another thing that people do, and not to get off subject, is that we put too much conspiracy theory, or we use that term too loosely. I think the minute someone classifies something as a conspiracy theory, or whatever teachings that this person is doing, you think that it's devilish, and you think that it's something that you don't have to go along with, but yet you're turning back around and you're listening to the same establishment that's gotten you in a rut, in a this matrix way of thinking. That's how I look at it. People think they woke. They're not woke. They're still in the matrix. You think just because you don't go to church or something, you woke now, but you don't even realize you throwing a baby out with the bathwater. But I don't have time to break that down. I'm just gonna, get more information on this matter. But honestly, I don't even feel like talking about it no more anyway. So it really don't even matter. It's just a sad day for the conscious community. And I've heard that, you know, the sign that is and I don't know if he made a statement, but I'm pretty sure I know Brother Garfield, he's considered a prominent figure in the conscious community. I'm pretty sure he's, I've heard that he made a statement, but I haven't found it on the internet yet. But I don't know. I just know that eventually we're going to have to get some type of, somebody's going to have to put this out in the forefront in the conscious community, and it's going to have to be talked about. So y'all can nip it in the bud and keep it moving, because right now, if nobody don't at least do something from that community to try to, and it's not even to try to alleviate what's happened. The damage has already been done. It's to now, it's the conclusion of this, because I don't think people realize, excuse me, I don't think people realize how damaged this is to the conscious community. What I'm saying is that nobody is going to believe nothing you're saying. This even though people do things on their own, it still leaves a stain on the community. That's the problem. And you already have certain groups, I'm not gonna say, that's been accused of treating women a certain way from that community also. Like, we just got to keep it real. I'm not saying beating them, but it's just the way that they talk to them. But anyway, I'm not going to even get into that. But that's people that's in the conscious community that deal with that. But you know, this is crazy. He pleaded guilty to 7 years, 10 years probation. He has to go through mental courses, I forgot what they called it on the recording. Forgive me. But it was something like psychiatric courses that he has to take. Like, he has to do weird stuff like that. And that's what I'm saying. Your lower self, that money is the root of all evil. It's that root. It's that soul in you. And that's why people say money is the root of all evil. Now it makes sense. It brings out the worst in you. And Polite was doing too much. He left the black community, to be honest with you. That's probably why people are going to really roll on him, and I don't care. I'm just going to keep it all the way above. I'm going to be honest with you. I listened to it. I've listened to Polite for a long time. I've listened to plenty debates, lectures from Brother Polite. Damn near all of them. If it's one out there, then I probably just, missed it. But, I'm talking about back 2010, 2012. I'm talking about when he was doing little debates, debating people. He was breaking stuff down, regardless of how you felt that, if you believed the information or not. He was brilliant on how he brought stuff to the light. And that's where that genius part of someone and that lower part of that person, and they kind of clash, and then you can be, it's the duality. It's like you still gotta practice both. It's like you gotta practice being the genius and practice your lower self when that money is talking to you. Now I understand that phrase now. Money is the root of all evil. And I'm pretty sure other people got other ways of thinking about how that phrase will benefit them or how they view it. But that's how I view it. It's the lower self of someone coming out. That's what it does. And it's just Polite left us. Just to put it in a nutshell, Polite left the black community. The conscious community, he left them behind. He started flashing. You can't leave people behind and, shun on them and flash on them. Nah, that's your community. That community got you the way you at right now. But you doing little weird stuff. Yeah, man, you got caught out there. It was heartbreaking hearing the mother talk in that courtroom when she was basically talking to him, giving her last statement. They feel tortured. You know what I'm saying? And that's something then I think he got to face civil after the trial, or after his sentence or something like that, he got to deal with a civil, man, he just, wow. But that's my take on it. I'm not going to spend too much more time on this. I'm just putting it out there. Like, I felt like I can really talk about the situation because I'm going to be honest, I was one of the figures, or people I should say, that listened to Brother Polight. You know, I remember 10, 12 years ago, 13 years ago now, easy. Like, I'm aware of his debates, you know, when he was on Sinetta Studios. That was my channel. That's where I went to for basically a lot of my information. And for me to do the research I needed to do, it began there. And he was one of the figures that did it for me, to wake me up and still keep me on my journey. And it was other people also, but Brother Polight is just the way he researched stuff. See, it's certain things you pick up from certain people. And it was just the way he researched. Everybody can research, but it's a certain way you have to research. That's why I respect a lot of brothers. Also, I'm not going to call their name in this video just from the respect from, you know, the situation that's going on. But I'm not going to call no one's name else in this video but Brother Polight, because this is what it's about. And, you know, it's a sad day. You know, hopefully that brother can get some help. My condolences to the family down in Florida. You know, we'll just be praying for you, and that's it. I'm just gonna leave it like that, family. Come on, spontaneous views. I'm out.